Don't do it, Andre. It's the worst mistake ever. You're a returned Peace Corps volunteer. Girl, what? So my question to you is what experiences do you have that contribute to your talents? And how are you using those talents to build wealth for yourself, whether financial, social, or even like spiritual wealth? What's up, YouTube? It's your girl, Financial Finesser. Definitely dropping another video about wealth because if you haven't listened already, I did drop a video last week about how I increased my value. And so I wanted to continue the conversation. So my question to you is what experiences do you have that contribute to your talents? And how are you using those talents to build wealth for yourself, whether financial, social, or even like spiritual wealth? Just getting my notes, don't mind me. I did want to increase the conversation about wealth. And so today I'm just going to be talking about how, when I realized I was talented and how I used those talents to generate wealth. So if you haven't watched the previous video, go ahead and click the video above so you can get more perspective on what my definition of wealth is. But let's just go straight into it. So in 2015, I actually returned back from the Peace Corps. I am a returned Peace Corps volunteer. A lot of people who know me just on the surface level don't know that, and people who know me really well know that that was a very pivotal part of my life, and it really has shaped me and molded the way I see community. And so let me look at my notes so I can make sure I'm on track and saying the things I'm supposed to say. So when I came back home from Peace Corps, I was incredibly broke, financially, that is. And also, like, in a way, too, just being vulnerable, spiritually I was broken. But not having a lot of money, all I really had was my talents that I had gained from that very valuable life experience. And I had a story. And these things kind of it gave me a huge sense of self, the things that I experienced out there with people in Guatemala. But I came back with little knowledge about my self-worth. And you would think that sense of self would equate to sense of worth for me, but it really didn't. I knew what I could do, and I knew how much I can withstand, but I didn't know why that was very valuable, why those attributes would be deemed valuable. So the sense of self-worth came far later, but like, I had a huge sense of self. I knew what I could endure. I knew what I had was valuable, but I didn't really know the value of it. So being broke, I ended up working with West Angeles Education and Enrichment Program here in Los Angeles, California. Go ahead and check out the video above if you want to know who the director is of that program, who happens to be my amazing father. But I was approached by his manager at the time, or she still is managing with him. But she told me that a lot of the kids were failing Spanish and asked if I would be willing to tutor them in Spanish. And me, I'm like, well, I may not have a job, but I know I can do that. So they hired me to do that, which was pretty dope. And that led to a lot of students asking me directly, Black students, can you tutor me one-on-one? So they're used to seeing me tutor them like in an after-school environment, giving my time to, a lot of kids at one time, which if whoever worked with kids, y'all know like that, kids is crazy. But it led to a lot of the Black kids. But a lot of the Black kids were like, can you tutor me one-on-one? And their parents actually started saying, like, I want my child to learn Spanish from a Black person. And it still didn't really dawn on me that, like, being Black and bilingual would play a huge role in becoming my business. But I just kind of went with it. I worked a lot of clients during that time were pro bono. Some were $10 an hour, $12 an hour. I was going to their homes, But again, not knowing my value, I was more so concerned with connecting with people, and seeing the value in that, but not really seeing how that can like translate to me building wealth for myself beyond social wealth, like financial wealth too. So I started getting feedback from parents, and they're like, can you come to my house, teach my child Spanish? I want them to learn from a Black person. I want them to be bilingual. And I'm just like, y'all do know I'm not Latina, right? But people wanted their kids to learn something foreign from someone who looked like them, essentially. And so my difference, not, just to quote Devon Franklin, and I will link his video below because that message changed my life, but my difference was my destiny. I think when I think about when I first decided to do Peace Corps and move out the country twice, my friendship circle was so narrow-minded, and I know they wanted the best for me, but I was getting a lot of feedback trying to talk me out of it. Don't do this. Don't go. And it was beyond just like, it's not safe. They were also saying things like, well, what are you going to eat? What are you going to do about your hair? What are you going to do, like, as life as you know it here in LA? Don't do it, Andrea. It's the worst mistake ever. And one thing I noticed at that time was, looking back, was the amount of Black people who tried to convince me to not be in an uncomfortable situation. And that's one of the things that has really grounded me and gave me a sense of self, was being comfortable in the uncomfortable. And that led to me, that is a talent. Like, no, I'm not like this super dope basketball player. No, I'm not a singer. No, I'm not a rapper. But I have mastered being comfortable in uncomfortable situations. And I think that is such a valuable trait to have. But why? But that's something that is a part of my destiny. And because of that, my business attracts a lot of Black people, not even just teenagers now. It's even like young adults who want to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Anyone who wants to learn a second language from scratch wants to be uncomfortable. And so I think it's really amazing to reflect on that. That's a talent that was developed in Peace Corps. And also the actual ability to speak, de hablar español, es una cosa muy valioso. So like, really though, so I think it's very, very, very importante. And I would say that, like, those moments of being comfortable with being uncomfortable, it unlocked so many other things that I'm good at. I'm really good at relating to people. Even people who don't speak the same language as me, I'm pretty sure I can relate to them on something. And that is a gift. That is a talent. It's far beyond just speaking another language. To even like hold stories from people from another culture that entrusted me with their stories is a gift, And I think every time I have a client que quiere hablar español, I'm able to share a piece of culture that they probably haven't seen yet, And every time I give someone a Spanish lesson, I'm giving them a piece of a culture that my host family shared with me when I was in Guatemala. So, coming back from Peace Corps Guatemala, let me read my notes. I started to attract kids that were like me, who wanted to learn from me. But it was really like far beyond just tutoring grammar in Spanish and teaching them to be comfortable with speaking. It was also like imparting confidence on them to go out and do the things that make them uncomfortable, to encourage them within the aspects that they're different. And that has been like a huge like blessing for me. So yeah, I think if I can just sum this video up in really one sentence, I would say I've been able to leverage my talents to build social wealth and also financial wealth. And one of the main talents that Peace Corps has given me has been how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Go ahead and drop a comment below. If you haven't already, please hit that bell so you can know when I'm going to drop other videos. Comment, like, subscribe if you want to connect more with me, Financial Finesser, on this platform. You can also reach me on an Instagram platform, which I will link below, to Buen Tutors LA, which is my business. You can also reach me via email, buentutors@gmail.com, which is also found in the description box below. You can also reach me via text message, which is also in the description box below. And if you want to sign up for lessons in Espanol, you can also go ahead and click the link below. If you want to know more about the West Angeles Education Enrichment Program, I'll go ahead and drop that link below as well. They offer phenomenal services to inner city youth, and have been really, really pivotal to seeing that youth get to go on the educational journey that they want to go on. Good. I certainly hope to connect with you more on this platform on YouTube, and I hope you're finessing your finances, not your debt.